Hello everybody, this is Blender Pretender. I'm going to continue with another video here for the bicycle. Took a break last time and I did a video doing the 2D design for that cup. So I did that just because some people are asking some questions as to how they could go about doing something like that with Blender, because it's free and they don't have to buy another software. So I decided to do that, but the best software for doing that would be obviously Illustrator or Inkscape or something like that. Inkscape is free, but anyways, I just stick with Blender because I'm a Blender Pretender. Anyway, so continuing with the bicycle, I have a subscriber that asked me to see if I could upload the images. I'm imagining that they're asking for the images. I should start that. Let me see, start display. Stop display, so it's already there. Okay, I don't know what I just pushed. Anyway, the background images, and I'm imagining he's asking for the background images. And I better turn them on. Why are they off? Let me see, so under the 1 and the, because it's the control 3. I'm imagining that they would like to copy the images, and they asked that I load them up into Blender, not the Blender Cloud, Google Cloud or something like that. I looked into it a little bit, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not a big fan of doing cloud, saving stuff on the cloud. Number one, I do have an account because I have a YouTube account, but I looked into it a little bit and I didn't really see an easy way, or maybe I just too dense, when I was looking through that to find an easy way to upload it. So what I'm going to do is, for that person, that subscriber, I'm going to take these and make them increase the opacity, right, for both of these. I'm imagining that they want to use these and do their own kind of video. So my suggestion is just do a screen capture. Do a screen capture of this, and I just increase the opacity. I'll move the cursor out and give you a few seconds, and I'm going to respond just referring to this video here, where you can do a screen capture here and then save it as a JPEG or something like that you could use as the background image. So that's the side image that I'm working with, assuming that they want to follow along. But you don't have to use this bicycle. You can use any bicycle and use that as a reference. Let me just go to the front view now, or the side view. Is it the one? Okay, the front view here. It's a little big, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Put the cursor over here. So just enlarge your video. When you're watching this video, enlarge it to fill the screen, and do a screen capture by hitting the print a screen, assuming that you have a Windows machine, but whatever other device you have, they will do that. And then save those images to your desktop or to wherever, and then use them. But you don't need that because, excuse me, you don't need that because you can use any reference really. So I'm going to bring them back to 0.5. I think I gave enough time to do that to the person that was asking for that, 0.5. And then go back to this. So for this video today, I'm going to do the break. And so I'm going to start. It's basically, I need a reference. Okay, so I need, number one, why is everything so, I think I got rid of that window then. Everything needs to be somewhat in proportion. So I like to work with those, but I need a reference. And so back to the window, right? Let me see. Image editor, and so I have a couple of references in here already. So that one works a little bit. that one does not, and that's the front. So I have two in this file. I have, so that one might work a little bit for this break in the back, which is really going to be just like a cylinder. So I'm gonna pause for a little bit and see if I can find another one that I can bring in here. Let me see. Okay, the other I hope that this doesn't get too difficult for me, in that Windows update, every time Windows updates or something like that, it throws my pad. It basically makes me reload the pad. I'm talking about the pen and the pad, the stylus pen and the pad drivers. So I'm gonna load that one. I just looked for it, and you know, it kind of throws everything off. So I hope that I'm not too far off in what, you know, how I'm doing things, because I get used to a response, you know, and the settings for the cursor as it moves while I'm moving the pen, and I like to keep it relative. That means that it's not absolute, means that you know, I can lift my hand and, you know, give myself more room for moving that. But every time Windows updates, it changes that, and it's just very frustrating. So I'm going to use this. It's basically like a, you know, I guess what you would call it, like a number 9 shape, but sideways. And so that's what I need to start with. I'm going to start by adding, I'm going to add, what did I do? So here I have the wheel. I can see the center right there. Shift snap U for the cursor right there. Shift add a mesh, and I'm going to add a circle. Let me see, before I go any further. And I learned the hard way, obviously, to have these circles, when I put these circles, to have them in divisions that are, I guess, well, that are the double, starting with the 2. I guess the increments of double of the 2. So it'd be 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and so on. So I'm going to bring it down. I don't need that many, so I'm going to go to 8 so that I can. And for that, I learned the hard way when I was doing the wheel here, to do that, because then you can start, as you bring them in, you can start deleting, or rather dissolving, some vertices as they come in. So on the Y, I think it's 90. Is that right? Nope. Well, what happened? 90. There. That's what I want. I don't know. Sometimes, who knows why the computer takes longer. It's taking pretty long right now. I'm wondering if it has to do with NNT. I wonder if it has to do with all of the objects that are, you know, subdivided 3 times. So it seems about right. Not really. The bolt here is this one right here, so a little bit less. So let me get this tools panel back up and bring down the radius right around there, I think. And that's going to be this thing right here. I think what I'm going to do is select everything, and it might actually select the lights, which I don't want. Yeah, I added a couple of lights. And the camera, I don't think it has it. So hitting the period, it's all a bike angle control 1. Hoping that it's going to help me go faster with the work. So back to this. I wonder, yeah, I'm going to keep it in the object mode. I'm just going to bring it up here. Let's go to the top view so I can see it again. And since I'm pivoting off the cursor, I can do this right around there. Well, actually, I want it right around there. Okay, tabbing in. I can extrude in the X a little bit. Okay, so when I went ahead and I did the control 1, it added the modifier on the 1. So I'm going to put this one at 3, and I'm going to check these that I like so I can see what's going on. And I can see that the faces are inverted. Oh, the other thing is you can see that it's not smooth. So there, that makes it smooth. And in the properties here, let me collapse this back down. In the properties here, I gotta go and make there. There, refresh that one, huh? Where is it? Where is it stored? No, not that one. Where is it? What am I looking for? I'm looking for where the normals would show. For some reason, I don't see them. Not there. Not there either. Oh, because I'm not in the edit mode. Yeah, sometimes it can get a little confusing, and since I took a week since the last video, you know, you kind of lose the stride. Back to mesh display right here, the normals, and they're inverted. So W flip so that they're right. That's just because of the shading that I have that I was able to tell that is the case, but it's not always very obvious. So I'm going to choose it all again. Now I'm in the edit mode, so my center obviously stays where I left it last. Okay. So choosing that one, that loop right there, I'm going to start. Extrude, cancel, scale. Oh, I'm off the cursor, so I have to go back to the center point. Scale. Start looking something like what it's supposed to look. That one, it needs to be beveled at some point in time, so I'm just going to increase the crease. Take that one a little bit. Going back to the reference, it looks like there is at that point right there, so it looks like it has a bit of a taper here. Between this and that, there's a bit of a taper. So I need to bring it up a little bit. Somebody texting me. Hope that doesn't come through. Scale. Okay, and then bring it out a little bit more. Oh, actually no. I need to be able to see it through here. So scale out right there, right around there. But it's not visible here. That's because there's like a flat part right here. So that's fine. So let's see how that's looking. Where's the flat part? The flat part is up near this bolt. So that would be here, going that way. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna work that out. And I'll have to see about that. And then there's all this. This is gonna be the challenge really for this, and the rest of the stuff is not so much. So maybe I need to rotate a little bit just to get what's going to come out. So I am going to tab out, select the frame and this, Shift H, just so that I can see what I'm looking at. Now just selecting that one, I'm going to tab in, and it seems to come out down the frame across this way. So I'm going to rotate a little bit, I think. Wait, let me see. Well, then this is also kind of flat. It's no longer round. So it goes off of a tangent through here. And then it needs to go off of a tangent, a bit of a tangent down here. So I'm still going to rotate a little bit. Probably right there. I'm just guessing, because then that way I can take this one. Well, here, this loop cut right here is very close to this. So I'm going to see if I can make that be similar. Just guessing that that's what I'm going to need to do. So I'm eyeballing it. Probably needs to go even more. More. Right there. So maybe this one can be stretched out a little bit to flatten this out. I'm wondering if I'm going to need more loop cuts around here. So there'll be like the 16, total of the 16. So I already know that I might need a couple loop cuts here. And see how I'm going to work this out here. This loop cut here is very close to that one. This one is very close to this one. I will definitely need 2 more loop cuts for this and this. And that one, I'll have to do a loop cut here, here, and then one going around like this. And then there is this very obvious faceted face here, which is down here somewhere, which is going to be another loop cut. So I'm going to looking 2 more loop cuts just as to eyeball it right there. Oh wait, so then there's obviously the very obvious one that's hold on a second, Control Z, the very obvious one that needs to go around here somewhere, and then one that goes right across this guy right here, and then one that goes at the end. So a total of 3 loop cuts. But with that said, I need this edge here for this. You have to figure out how I'll flatten that out over here, because that bolt is actually over here. So I'll probably need a loop cut here as well, which is, you know, not going to be a cool thing to do. In other words, how can I do this? How can I do that? Really? Just thinking out loud and, you know, unscripted here. So let me save first so I can find a point. So that should have selected that edge, that loop cut right there. I need to go back to tab out, shift snap U. So I have that center there, tab in. I still have that one. Shift duplicate with a cancel, and then off of the cursor here, rotate it. I'm wondering if it's that small right now because I am in the subdivided preview. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna rotate it some more. It is in the side view there. So around here is where it goes down that way. So let me see if I can figure that one out. So I'm going to get rid of those faces right here. And then with the edges, select that one and that one. Control E, bridge edge loops. Where am I? And then, oop, it went all the way. I don't want those. It's only 2, so I can select those. Bridge edge loops. Back into the side view and Control 3. Not looking too good. Let me see how that looks with the crease back. It looks like it pushes it out. Should not. Control 0. It should not, except that it really doesn't have it. It really doesn't have the loop cuts that are here. So with that said, what I'm going to do is tab out. I'm going to add another one, and I'm just going to increase. So I started with 8, I think, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 16. And then rotate it over here. Shift, add, mesh. So let me make it bigger so I can see. Mesh, a circle. and I'm going to make it 16. It's a good thing it remembers, right? What you did last, except for the rotation. Come on, Blender, what's up with that? Okay, 3. All right, back. It's right at the center, so rather than move it in edit mode, I'm just gonna move it back. Eyeball it like this. Tab in there. I'm extruding again in the X, and then E, scaling in, tab out. Okay, before I delete them, I'm going to rotate it to where I need it, which is right around there probably, and then delete the other one. Faster than if I work with a mesh. So there's got to have to be some sort of flat area here. Now back to what I'm doing. So this, apparently this is a flat area that projects all the way through here and here. And then there's this raised area over here. So how am I going to get there? I don't know. Okay. So this is pretty much in line with this one, right? With this raised ridge, so that's gonna stay right there. Actually, you can probably scale in a little bit more, right around there. This is very exaggerated the way it goes up. This is not. It's just a plate that you can see is welded here, and so I have more of an exaggeration, right? That it does this kind of thing. That's what I have drawn here. So let me see. So I'm going to leave that one there, and I can always just try to use the knife tool and go like this, and that breaks that up. Except that because I wish there were like a snapping tool, not a snapping tool, but keeps you orthographic with this knife. There probably is, I just don't know it. So I'm gonna go like this. Enter. Except that that creates the enemy, which is a triangle right there, and I'll figure out how to deal with that. Ultimately, let me see, Control 3, and in the tools, make it smooth, make sure it looks good. Ultimately, if you don't see that the program is having trouble with it and making it not shiny or smooth or whatever, then who cares? That's my guess. Anyways, tab, that loop actually needs to come out right around there. So that's the 3, back to the 3. Okay, let's see, I started messing around with this before I even went back to crease this. So it did select it, it's creased, and then this is a little forward, maybe a little bit more, right around there. Now how am I going to deal with that? I still have to cut a bunch of loop cuts here for this. So this cut is going to work with these, meaning there's got, so this cut will probably be, I'm gonna have to work with this a little bit, but it'll probably have to be beveled a little bit like that. Rotate more. Let me go to this and rotate it more. And I'm just gonna eyeball that by grabbing them and making them somewhat round. Okay, so that goes like that. And there's going to have to be a loop cut. Yeah, it ends up breaking right there. I don't know if that's fine or not. Let me go to this view right here. And then take that one, grab it back. With that, extrude, scale it in. Okay. Let me see. Ultimately, I want that flat face right there. This is still a triangle. Technically, now I have quads. Control Z. What's going on? Alt join. Technically, but not really, right? And then here I will do, I think it's Shift Control S. Let me make sure I'm off the center. Or rather, no, I'm not off the center. Let me go back to the T. Make sure it's all the way to 1. What that does, it puts it into a sphere. And if I rotate off the cursor, I can get back to having a quasi-circle with some nonsense happening over here for the sake of getting that flat face. There. See how that looks. Now in terms of pinching, let's see how it looks. Right there. But that's because of the crease. When you crease, it tends to do that. Okay, back to 3. I'm gonna join these all at the center. Wrong place, buddy, huh? I thought they were circular about maybe because they're not fully circular, something like that. So I'm gonna snap selection to cursor. What that does, it probably put it way back there. So with the snaps on, I'm gonna drag it and just put it right there with that one. There, so that's at the center. Control. Okay. Now let's see how we're gonna mess with this over here. Well, first let me just make the Millennium Falcon deal thing that goes on over here. That's extruding. So let me see on the side view. And then getting rid of that so I can see it. So that is, I'm going to extrude is it all these 4 faces? Let me see. I don't need to. I can only extrude these 2 and then just start messing with these. Right about there. I'm going to undo again. And I need to guess proportionally how far it's going to go. So that I can see it. would say right about there. Now that's too wide. This is narrower, and not only that, it's too low. Not really, somewhat. I'm going to put the cursor right there. Make sure I'm about the cursor, and I am going to scale and the Shift X. And grab it, shift, that's fine. Grab it. I don't know what I just did. Control Z. I'm doing Shift Z. Come on, Control Z. That was the scale. Back to that. Scale it. And then grab it. Probably needs to be scaled more. I moved it. Rotate it more and grab more. I'm just eyeballing it. This is too high right here, so that means I'm going to go to the vertices, select these and grab them up. Select those and grab those down. So that this kind of look, this is actually higher than this, but the photo might not, might not be super level. So it goes up and down. So let's see how it looks. Like that. Scale Shift X. Still looks a little thick. And so it comes down A, C. I'm gonna grab this. Come on. Grab that. Get rid of the snaps so it's not bugging so much. And here I have to look to see how it looks in this unsubdivided preview, because now I'm gonna eyeball this one also to be straight. I could figure out a way to make it straight, but I don't want to. That looks good. Now I gotta put, well, number one is I'm gonna select all of this and these and decrease the crease all the way to 0. Now I'm going to get a loop cut in here and bring it closer. Control 0. See how that looks. Okay. Now the crease needs to follow from here to here, here, here. That's the crease. There's a Millennium Falcon. Okay, there. Control save. And then back to the third subdivided preview. So now it looks a little wide. So it looks a little wide now. Need to get some shorter. How am I going to do that? I'm just going to stick with the scale. It brings them all into the cursor. So I'm going to put the cursor back to that in the V in the vertex mode under the wireframe. I just selected all those. Just snap U so they come on. Control 0. So there it is. Okay, A. So now all of these selected. I'm going to scale Shift X. I'm making it, just make it narrower. Back to that view. That work. Now it looks a little stumpy. No, it doesn't look like it. This angle here actually looks like it might. Well, let me see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the cursor right there and select these. Make sure I'm pivoting about the cursor and then rotate down like that. Let me check that view to make sure I'm not screwing anything up, and I'm not. Save. Okay. Back to the subdivided preview, and to look at it like this. So I can't really tell because of the black stuff that's there and what's going on. There's not enough contrast, or well, I don't even know what you would call that, but it's just all black. I can't tell. So I'm gonna guess. The easiest thing is to guess. Pull it out a little bit so it looks nice and round. So this thing is acting as a brake. Take that to that to that to that. Okay, selected all of those. Increase the crease. There. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Now it looks like it, right? Done. Done with that part at least. I'm gonna make this a lot tinier because I keep going back and forth. Since I don't have a reference photo loaded, I keep going back and forth. Okay. This ugly whatever this is, you know, adjustment screws or whatever. This does not I'm sorry, I just jumped from one place to another, but this does not look like it's as faceted as that one. That's because I'm going to go into the wireframe and go back into the unsubdivided preview or view, and that one right there needs to be creased, which is the same as the one that's going down here, right? Right? Or not really? Yeah, not really, because if this is this corner right here, it's this one that needs to be creased, and it's too far in. But then I won't see it through here. So this is one of those where I just have to make a judgment call, and if I have to move this up, I'll do so. So that'll be the one. That is where the grooves start. So obviously right there is not good. AC. Let me look at it like this. So obviously this is not good either. And I rotated some of these for the sake of, let me go right there, for the sake of trying to get the same angle. So face, here's how I'm going to try to do that. Now they're at an angle already, but how I'm going to try to do that is inset it. Well, actually, it all needs to come out. So that one, that one, that one, that one. It all needs to come out. I think those are it right there. And so that'll be an extrude. Okay. Now I take these, and then what happens if I hit the eye? Just a tiny bit. There. And now extrude back. There. That kind of messes up with this right here. I'm going to keep it in the 0, get more area. When I say the 0, I mean no subdivided preview. I know it's hard to tell in the video. I'm moving around because I'm looking for the edge that I'm going to, number one, get rid of these faces. I think it's these. Let's see how it goes. So it's these. Yeah, it's those faces right there. Same with this. I don't know if I want to save. Okay, so let's see how it looks. What I need, they seem to be planar. I'm talking about this area to this area seems to be planar. That face obviously seems to be inset a little bit. And there seems to be like a little circle thing that's happening there. So if I grab that one and then extrude it in, and then I go to that, it looks ugly. That's because that edge is not creased there. And then I can work with that a little bit just to make it look like it's something that's recessed in there. Now I'm going to take these edges and get rid of the crease. Well, I need the crease down there, but I don't need it up here. Yeah, I'm having trouble with the pad right now. I'm not getting along with the pen and the pad. Like that. Not too good here. I'm gonna increase it a little bit. Okay. It's not as fat as I would like it to be. Meaning that the crease in here should not be that much. And that's going to be a matter of the bevel. When I work with the bevels, I'll figure out how far to go with it. So there. Why is that black? I'm not used to seeing I guess the mean crease not being all one. Okay, how am I gonna bridge these? I'm gonna get rid of the crease on those for now. I basically need to bridge them. I could take those back. Likewise these two. Take them back a little bit. And the best way that I can think about doing this is like this. So there's that. I'm going to need, if that's the case, let's say an edge loop right here. Did it go all the way through? Yes, it did. All the way to this side. Let me save again. And then back to the vertices. I like this so I know where I'm going with it. That's face. Or rather there, that's a face. I can mess around with those a little bit in a minute. Control R here. Okay, face. There. I mess around with these also in a minute. Well, I mess around with them now. Somewhere around there. See how that starts to look and where I can start creasing things. This doesn't look very good. Not good. I'll have to figure out what's going on there. Okay, and then control loop right around there. And control R here, right around there. Go back to that view right there, rather here. And then bridge that. And fill these in. Nope. Okay, there. They're filled in. I do need these to be creased. There. Control 3. And the in this view right here. Let me save and go into the wireframe with the vertex. Now here's what I can try to do. I don't know if it'll work. Nah, it won't work. I was gonna try to center the cursor and then try to put these on a circle, but it won't work. Because it really goes to a sphere and there's multiple points. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. It's close to the tangent point anyways. Meaning from here it kind of goes off on a tangent. Probably not the best way to do this. Wrong key all the time, huh? Okay. Let me see how it looks. Somewhat close. Not quite where I want it. Not quite where I want it for this contraption thing. It's got the hole. Barely tell that point right there. What I mean that point is that crease, that point. And then, oh, I forgot to I forgot to extrude these. Oh, how's that gonna work with this? Okay. How is that gonna work? Okay. Tab in. In other words, these faces all need to be either extruded or lifted up. Let me go further out. Let me go lift it out further out, just so that you get that little crease right there. How am I gonna do that? What was not very obvious is what happens when this goes around. So that's a very definite angle point or a crease point, and it comes around. So that's like a crease point too, but rather than extrude them, I'm wondering if I should just push one of these back, and if I do that, what's gonna happen? If I do that, what will happen? It'll look ugly. It will look nothing like what it's supposed to look. I'm gonna take these and move them forward. I'm just doing it. Boom, right there. No, Control Z. I don't want those. Forward. Let me put a control. Nope. That's when you know you got some problems with your geometry. It's putting a loop throughout everything. Not cool. It even goes right. Oh, and I forgot to cut my loops through here too. Let me see what happens. Yes, I did. Look at that. It's going all the way through here and everything. No, not good. So let me see if I can save this by, I'm going to try to delete that one right there. Undo what I just did. So delete that face. Let me go back to this one. So, oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to put the loop that I wanted. I should have probably done that loop before this little circle. I'm gonna deal with that later though. Put a loop right there, and I'm gonna grab, making sure the snap is on, I'm going to grab that one and move it over there. Let me just hide the frame for a second. Snap you. Rotate this one a little bit more. And there. Now I'm gonna pick these to see how it works. If I were to do, well, I'm gonna bevel these anyways. I want to do it last because I'm gonna have to mess up with whatever triangular thing happens there when the bird is when I bevel it. But Control B, boom. That's weird. Oh, that's because I'm going through here. Pay attention next time. Okay, so I'm beveling it slightly. If these are going to be planar, I'm talking about these, there's got to be a slight distinction between these faces here, let's say. Let me go to the vertices, choose that one. Now I'm going to choose the faces, do scale, the X, 0. So I think that's the distinction that is seen here, although it's very exaggerated, I guess you could say. So I'm going to choose these. I don't know why my pad just doesn't want to respond sometimes. Okay, so what I really need to do is take that one, Control plus. I'm going to take all of those. No, not that one. And take all of these and move them up on the X slightly. That kind of ruins it. I'm just gonna eyeball this one. Who's gonna know anyways, right? It ruins this smooth cone taper, I guess you would call it. The vacuum cleaner going off in the other room. I hope it's not terribly loud. I'm just gonna eyeball that. Actually, it gives it kind of like a nice look. So let me save that. I can't really do what I want. I was trying to put another loop in here so that I would lose some of this stuff that's happening here. Okay. Now I have to make this very, very pronounced. Let me see, can I put a loop in here or not? Let me choose the edge to go W subdivide. I do have the snap on. I don't know why I wouldn't snap to that one. Oh, because it's there on that side. Basically, I just divided that. I want to see how this so this is alt join, and let me get rid of that crease. Now, how am I going to do this to make it really, really... Let me choose those right there and rotate them. They're tucked way under there, huh? That's not good. Control Z that. So, no, that's not even the right way to do it, I suppose. Maybe like that. Control 3. What I need is another loop in here. Control 0. So I'm going to choose these two and rotate them even more. Excuse me. Right now I'm just eyeballing everything because I'm trying to save some of the work that I've already done because it's not going very well. I'm going to take that one. Well, there's a vertex there, I just can't see it. Take that one, kind of hidden for me, right? I'm going to take, I'm sorry, that one, snap you. Let's see what happens if I put these scale X 0 like that. Control 3. There's something there. And basically, it's very obvious that, you know, if this is planar to this little area right here, and this is really recessed, you know, has some relief, that it has to get lost somehow by the time it gets back over here. So that may be just, come on, very careful adjustments like these. Until it loses it as it comes around. I'm really having a little bit of a struggle with the pad, in that the distance and the response is not the same as what I'm used to. I shouldn't whine so much, but I guess I just do not like the fact that, you know, you get used to something and all of a sudden here comes an update and you have to deal with that. I'm gonna grab that one and put it in here. Let me see. I do have the merge, so that's why that's working. Alt join. Okay, control 3 again. Alright, so it gets a little weird right there. Number one, the vertices here aren't joining with that, but what I'm going to do is add another bevel yet, or maybe just a loop cut here, and just run it all the way up. Close. Right there. Now what that does is that ruins everything, right? Everything here is ruined. Let me go back to this then. So that's looking more like it. Take that edge, increase it. Oh, what did I do? Grease pencil. Grease pencil it. Crease pencil it. They should have a crease pencil. There. That's an idea for Blender people. How come they've not thought of that before? A crease pencil. Let me save that for a second. Oh, come on. 3 and control 0. Let me get, okay, the vertices. There, that one. Oh, I still gotta go back to the center. Snap there. Now that's the one I'm gonna move. Come on, come on, come on. Rotate to that. Take that one. Scale Shift X to that. Take both of them. Scale Shift X out. That leaves these that are not quite where they should be. So Shift Snap U. Now I'm going to take that one. And we just go in that one and say Scale Shift X 0. They should line up just like these. I guess maybe I moved them around too much because this one doesn't line up either. Snap U, that one and that one. Scale Shift X, another 0. So back to the 3. Let's look at the subdivided view. Okay, now some of this I'll have to eyeball so it goes round. So it looks round. But I'm thinking, unless I add another, well, I can add another loop cut in here, I suppose. And bring it down further. Because, well, okay, so those are moved out, that's why. Okay, those, I hope that sound's not coming through. The washing machine sound, right? So I've lost all sorts of symmetry and stuff that would have made this possible to end up without getting that pinching effect that is seen. I've lost all hope of that now. Did I ever have any? Rotate. Rotate some more and scale. Shift X. So back to this view here. Okay, that's looking a little bit better in terms of this, thing that's supposed to be happening there. Spending a lot of time on that, huh? Still off of that cursor, I'm going to rotate this one back out a little bit. Control Z. They're too close. They're too close within the merge threshold. That's why that happened. Control 3. So I'm gonna drop it right there, I think. I need to smooth that out a little bit. But I'm going to drop it right there, and then this kind of stuff that's happening here, I need to, well, let me mess with all of this first before I figure out how I can, or what I could do to try to get rid of some of that. I'm wondering if I need this anyway. I'm going to dissolve them anyway and then see what happens. Then of course undo if I need to get back. So I'm going to X dissolve edges. See how that looks. Not quite, because I lose this. Control Z. I need that. I need that to come across, I guess, crease or whatever, bevel, whatever. Those actually need to be rotated a little bit down. Little bit down, then scale, shift X, a little bit in. Now with the proportional editing, scale, shift X. I'm trying to make it look round now. So I'm going to take these and scale, shift X. Without the proportional edit, scale. Yeah, it's a very definite crease right there. That's not cool. Not cool. Okay. It looks somewhat round, but then with that's happening there, that's not quite good. And I'm trying to think, how can I, let me see if I get rid of that crease. Nope, that doesn't work. And if I crease these, it's going to exaggerate it. And there's a reason for it right there. Look at that. First of all, let me get these and crease them back. Control 3. No, 3. 3. Still my cursor's there. Scale. I'm gonna give up on that, I think. With the proportional editing, I'm gonna scale shift X. Yeah, it doesn't quite want to get there. Okay, so I think it's going to become pretty apparent right now to people that have been, to anybody that might watch this all the way to this end, to this point right now, that, well, two things are going to become apparent. And number one is that I stopped the video because there was some noise being generated, so the audio is not very good. Number two is I don't think this is going very well. And I basically had to pause the video because of that noise, and that was 2 months ago almost. And so now I have to get reacquainted with this. I had to, basically some other stuff took precedence over, over what I do here. So I didn't have the time. I couldn't get back to doing this outside of my control, of course. But so now I have to figure out where I was and what I was doing and what the train of thought was. But just from looking at this, it's not going very well. It's, but let me see if I can fix some of this, get some of this to work. This is not cool right here either. Let me see. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. These edges have a crease here. I'm gonna get rid of the crease. It probably had a crease initially because before I beveled it. So it looks like I would have beveled this and this to here also. Get rid of the crease. Don't need that anymore because I beveled it, and there's some work needs to be done here, obviously. But ultimately, this is supposed to match this, and I'm going to take some license with the way this looks or how it ends up looking. Because when this video does post, and I'm going to have to probably give a little bit of an explanation. As I'm doing right now that I'm getting back into doing this, as to why, or not necessarily why, but as to I just didn't post any videos. And some people did continue subscribing, so I appreciate that. The subscriber count went up, but when you're not posting, some people leave as well. So I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to try to wrong way, shouldn't have done that. Enter. Okay, go back to the vertices. Since I'm merging them, I eyeball those. I didn't. Ultimately, I just want it to look somewhat like what the image is. And what I'm doing there is just pushing that triangle to here. Enter, come on. So that any artifact or whatever, it doesn't look like it's looking very bad. Any pinching effect happens there instead of over here. Actually, I think maybe I needed to bevel this edge as well, because this needs to fatten up, but I may not fatten them up all that much. I'm just going to move some of these around a little bit, try to get more or less the indication of what has to happen there. So all of that, there's a very clear, very distinct, what do you call it, the bevel right there. I need to see how I can clear that. 3. So it looks smoother and round. And this is where working the way that, so just with the edge selected there, working the way that I do, I guess I'm just going to push it back a little bit and move that one back a little bit too, just to try to smooth it out. But when you go into the unsubdivided view, you get something like this. Not very good. Let's go back to looking at this, and that's because of this right here. So maybe take that one, or rather go back over here. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Okay, 3. So that's this one, maybe this edge right here. 3 with the period selected, so I can just rotate it a little bit more. And then maybe take this one out. 3. Take that one out a little bit. Alright, so maybe from this distance, it's not too obvious. It is still obvious a little bit, but not so much. And then let me just make some of this look a little bit more mechanical, I guess, like it was stamped. And this has to look like a circle a little bit right there. So it looks like a square right now. And then I have to see about creating this. I'm not sure what that is there either. But Control 0 back to where it's somewhat more. I'm going to grab that one a little bit down. Yeah, that's still, it bugs me. It shouldn't though. I should just move on. Yeah, the last might be a little too late for this bicycle thing. I'm just trying to finish it up. Probably this will be the last video that I post for this bicycle. Had to pause there for a second just to clear my throat again. But anyways, to finish the thought, 2.8, Blender 2.8 is going to be, at least what I'm hearing from the stuff that I've been reading, is going to be coming out at the end of the year, maybe, potentially. And so I've already downloaded it, and I'm thinking that any future videos that I do, I'm going to have to start learning how to use that one, just because of the way that the time that it takes me to do these videos. Basically, it takes me a long time to do these videos because this is just hobby for me. This is, you know, these are Hawaii videos, right? Not that I'm in Hawaii, but these are not how-to videos. These are how I do this. That's why it's a Hawaii video. It takes me a long time, basically, to do something like this. Let me see, Alt. And I'm still trying to remember right now what all the keys are that I use, because I'm not normally working on this now, or I haven't been for some time, and then you start losing some of the Control 3, some of the, you know, I guess ideas that I used to, you know, already had a mindset for how I work things and everything, and now I lose track of that. So I'm wondering what happens if I crease that. Nah, nothing really. What I'm gonna have to do is bevel that edge right there. I'm gonna have to fatten these because they're a little too thin. I don't think they get stamped like that. Let me get the crease back. And again, so I'm working with I mean, I haven't said it just yet. Maybe I said it earlier in the earlier portions of the video, but I'm working with the subdivided views and trying to make it look like a somewhat metallic, or somewhat, you know, an object that is. I can see the pinching right here. That's not from the triangle, but here. And that could be from the creases too, but basically not, I guess, what a hard surface object is what I'm trying to get at. I see what it is right here. So that's why, I guess that's why quads, right? Why quads? Because of this. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 again. What is it that's not looking right here? Okay. Well, it's 4 and 4, but these are 3 over here. Something like that, I guess. I'm just going to put a knife cut in here. Basically, got rid of that quad. And got rid of this one too. Control 3. I still see it right there. Might not come through in terms of the compression, but of the recording, but I can still see it right there. It comes through. Yeah, I don't know. Let me just save it. Those are the kinds of things that are gonna basically come through, I think, when I'm trying to render. So that's why I'm trying to see if I can clean those up a little bit right now. Well, let me worry about the geometry first, then I suppose. Yeah, this is. I'm just gonna eyeball this. It may have been straight at one point in time. I don't care anymore. So going back to the center there, I'm just gonna scale these out. Bring the T out. So it's 1.35. Did I scale it? At least I'm gonna maintain that kind of consistency. Yeah, I can see why there's a problem there. This loop here does not continue on down. It comes down here. Well, there. Did that. There. I'm going to take these two and bring them and make them flush with this. So grab Shift X. No, wrong way. I'm just going to eyeball it. Take that one. Grab Shift X. I'm putting it right underneath that one. See how that starts looking? Not very good. This is looking somewhat okay. This is not looking good the same. Now this does not seem to have the 3 loops that this one does. Why is that? Go back to this view right here. It does the same right there. And it only has the 2 loops over here. So I'm losing. So this bottom piece is the loop. Is that loop? Control save. Here's what I can do also. I'm having trouble with the rotation in the user preferences. I can go, where was it? Oh, it's here. I think it's ready. I think the orbit style has to be that one. There. Now I can start rotating things around like that. Probably better for sculpting and other stuff. I don't know. Anyways, what I was getting at is I'm going to see if I can start using 2.8. I'm just eyeballing it. Back to this view. I'm going to grab Shift X with the snaps on to that. With these 2 selected, I'm just going to grab them and push them back. Grab these and push them back as well. So that's the kind of stuff that's happening here. Grab Shift X. Grab Shift X. Those 2 selected. Move these back. I can see one of these is tucked underneath. Okay, so there's a crease right there. I'm gonna get rid of that crease. See what that does. Softens it a little bit, but let's see. Ultimately, oh, because this is higher than this. This surface here is higher than that surface, which is this surface. Don't know what that is. And this one looks to be higher, even more so. So, for example, face. Take these. And if I just get rid of that, bring it up here. There. Still have to work these out somewhat better. Still not liking this. Let's go back and see how that works now with a crease. Nope, no good. How about this one with a crease? Nope. All right. I'm gonna go take these vertices and just scale them. Well, that seems to soften it a little bit more. It's not even that softened that much here. It seems to slope more out that way than it does inside. So what I mean inside is like in this area right here. Go back to this view right here, and I think what I'm going to do is just take those. They're not even circular, you know, or on a circumference to that center, but I'm going to use it for rotation anyways. With the period, I'm going to, you know, having hit the period, I'm going to rotate these about that much. Same with these. That one too. Okay, so it looks like it sticks out a little bit more. Oh, wrong button. And it seems to come up all the way over here. There's other reference photos, but I'm not worrying about that. I just want it to look like it's a stamped piece of metal that can go on that bicycle. That's looking okay for me. I'm not gonna even do any renders that are close up. What I do need, so I'm gonna try to make them that fat, that thick right there. For these, I'm going to eyeball them because they swerve. And this one actually looks like it gets pretty sharp. So back to its, you know, its comma, or not comma, but control comma. Okay, control 0. Not even sure where I am. About there. These, again, scale. About there. Now it's coming together a little bit more. I guess maybe I just have wishful thinking that this is going to come together. I'm going to now start just eyeballing it. It's actually more curvy, I guess is the term. More curvilinear. Grab. So now I'm just Control Z. Grab that one too. Well, no, that one needs to be rotated. There. Also. Okay, so it looks more curvy. Tab 3. What's going on? Number pad 3. Oh, because I need the ortho view. Control save. This tells us right there. So, more curvy right there. It needs to come down way more over here. Yeah, I don't like that, but I'm gonna ignore it just like I did this over here. Control save. So I'm tabbing in again. Take all these. I'm gonna take all of these and then just grab them like that. Let me see. Okay, and then some of these need to go up. I'm gonna take that. Actually, I'm gonna take these and then just scale them in. Control Z. The reason I undid is because I don't know if there's a difference in. I can always find that out, but there's they're not planar is what I'm saying, planar to that. So I'm gonna go Scale Shift X, pull that out that way. And likewise these, scale shift X, pull that out that way. It's looking exaggerated, but what I'm going to do now is get these and just eyeball it and grab it. I'm going to get rid of that crease right there. I'm not liking this. It is in the ortho, right? So I can already see there's a problem with these. They're not projecting in the right way. I might just do that over. So what I have another here that has a crease. Get rid of that. Okay, what was I gonna do? I was going to select that, use that as a center, and then with the period, rotate around there. Now, from this, what I'm seeing here, it's obviously, okay, I need to scale these back down. Take these, and then scale shift X. No. I should have served my cursor coordinate. So get back, snap U to get back to this. So rotate that one more. I'm losing it. Scale shift X. No, maybe just these. Probably need another loop through here is what I need. But I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to get rid of that crease right there. Okay. And then fatten some of these into the inside. Okay. So it's a mess. Right now, it's a mess. Let me see what that looks like, Z. So I'm going to grab Shift X. It's because it's not, I grabbed the wrong one. Grab Shift X. It was not the active one. I just lined them up so it's not so far in there, tucked in there. It really needs to be outside a little bit more. Grab without the snaps there. And then these are tucked way too far in there. Control 3. Sorry, 3. Wrong one. Save. So, Control 0. Should I leave them? Should I leave them? I'm going to leave them. That's fine. And if I get out of that view, there's something very ugly that's happening here. That's because of the crease. I'm going to take that one and just get rid of the crease on that one. It really is not needed there anyways. I don't think you need any of this from here to here. It's probably just creased because I beveled the edge that was creased previously. Okay, 3. So tabbing out. Anyways, I was saying earlier that I'm going to see if I can start using Blender 2.8 At least they have a release. I've been watching a channel. I'm not subscribed to it yet because I just haven't gotten onto my own channel to do anything there. But I've been watching this a channel that obviously it's been, I guess, used for PR for the new 2.8 release of Blender. And so Pablo Vasquez is the name of the person that works for the Blender Institute. The way I understand it is okay, scale, Shift X. I'm thinking and talking at the same time, so probably not a good combination, huh? So Pablo Vasquez is the one that works for the Blender Institute, and my understanding is that so he's been doing these videos that I've been watching, where he promotes 2.8 and basically talks about the stuff that's coming out. So the latest video that he published, he says, hey, 2.8 alpha has been released. It's not, I mean, I'm not sure that there's anything really official about it, other than the way I understand it is just that it's like a version of Blender that they want people to use and have crash and report the crashes when it crashes. That's basically it. And I thought, you know what, it's gonna have to be a change. Eventually I may start another project 2.79, but then it takes me months again just to, you know, get it done. Might as well have it. This is not good. That's because I lost the crease on that one, or I have it on that little edge. And so it takes me months and months to finish something, because I don't have that much time to dedicate to it. And I thought, might as well just see where, because if I start a new project, maybe I'll try to start it with a 2.8 right off the bat. Yeah, this is not good. I can see it right there. Tab. I wonder what can happen. Control save. Some of this gets hidden by the stuff that's in the wheel, so maybe I'm going to snap my cursor there, get rid of that, and let me see, select that loop, scale it down, I'm doing that so it generates these quads, and then E, and then Alt M at center, which ends up not being at the cursor. Maybe that's my problem. I have no symmetry. I have nothing that's really, that's worth sticking to, I guess, in terms of symmetry and stuff. But I don't think I do have that anymore. That didn't work, huh? So there's a way to snap this. It's how do I snap this to the, I forgot. How do I snap that to the, let me see, Alt M again at cursor. There. That snapped it to the cursor. All right. This is looking somewhat ridiculous here, but it's somewhat what I was going for. This is not good. I'm going to fix some of that right now. But hopefully it's starting to look somewhat like the shape of that. Yeah, so anyways, I've been watching Pablo Vasquez's I guess live things, live broadcasts that he does talking about 2.8. It really gets you excited into all the stuff that can happen. I can still see something there. I guess you would call it an artifact right there. But maybe from this distance you can't see it that much. Just getting into it, I guess. I'm going to start trying to do some of that work. But I downloaded it, but it crashes. So I don't know what else to say. I downloaded it, worked one of it. I'm going to rotate that one out. Rotate that one out a little bit. Oh, I see why that's happening. I had the merge. I still see Control Z. Yeah, it's because of this right here. Because it merged right here. This should still be a quad. Do I care? I still see it. Maybe just rotating it a little bit. Rotating these like I did right now. Is there, but it's not as much. I don't know, maybe. We'll see how it renders, if it needs more attention. I gotta move on. And so I downloaded it, and yes, it crashes when you do certain things still. But that's the best test, I think, if you take the program and then you try to do something like, let's say, for example, this. They did a lot of changes. They got rid, according to his last stream, I guess, is they got rid of a lot of the keys. A lot of the key combinations that can be used for certain functions. Control plus. So I guess it's worth trying this, and then hopefully they still keep the functionality where you can assign some of your own, because obviously there's face. I'm deleting them because what I'm going to do now is select that edge, and I think it's under W. Do I have them loaded? Edge tools. It's loop tools. I'm gonna go circle there. That works, I think. And then E, and I'm just going to here take them back. Don't know why it's looking like that. Maybe it's because it's flat versus smooth or something or another. And then E, go to the center, scale, E, Alt M at center. Let me tab out. In the tools, I will make it smooth. Smooth, didn't work. Smooth again. Didn't work. Come on, make it smooth. Let me put a loop in here, see what that does. Helps a little bit. Take these two and then just grab, push them in there. That helps. Helps a lot. All right. So yeah, it's my understanding, at least from reading that, not reading, from watching his show, is that Blender is looking for people to use in Crash 2.8 and then report a crash. But I mean, I guess they want, I don't know. I can imagine it's like a hard task having to be able to weed through, you know, bug reports. Because how do they know who's a good user or not? When I mean a good user, I mean like somebody who they can say, okay, this person's doing okay. Like for example, me, I'm nobody. I'm just somebody playing with Blender and deciding to post online. And I would feel, you know, I think me, I don't know, there's a feeling of like, I'm not sure if I'm, like if I were even inclined or capable of reporting a bug, because it'd be like you're using it wrong, which is what I'm doing. I use it wrong. But that's okay, as long as I get the results. In other words, I'm posting videos where I'm using it for what is not supposed to be used. Like the video before this one that I posted was using Blender curves to try to generate a 2D image. I can imagine some people will be like, what? This makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense to use Blender for that. Blender's 3D, which is right, is true. But for me, it's like, hey, if I can use this and get that, fine, right? and it's not going to be the best either. But I was talking to somebody, telling them basically what my thoughts and just the concept of what is a value. For me, it's a good value for, you know, Blender to, you know, the way that it is, the way that, for however it came to be, you know. And you can, by the way, anybody can go, I'm sure every Blenderista, you know, since they have coffee baristas, I'm sure they can be Blenderistas as well, right? Every Blender guy that's familiar and is, you know, interested has checked out the Blender Guru, who I'm subscribed to as well. None of the people that I mentioned, by the way, I know or have no connection or anything. I know this. I only say that because of the few people that might watch the video, whatever. You know, as soon as you start putting, you know, the subscriptions on your channel and everything, you know, there's no association is what I'm just getting at. No, none association. The only reason that I put, you know, I normally do not, you know, subscribe. I know the channels I like to go to, but I subscribe to the channels that I know that I like, because YouTube kept putting on my channel all these frivolous nonsense channels as recommendations on the side of the page, and I just didn't know how to get rid of them. And I did decide to subscribe to somebody, and I'd subscribed, and I noticed that it started pushing them down, further down the page. So I said, okay, I'm going to subscribe to every one of those. This is not looking good, by the way. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to scale Shift X. Every one of those. So I decided to subscribe to every one of those that that I've, you know, watched, learned from, and all that, and then just push the other ones down the page. It doesn't look good, but I'm going to just, instead of scaling this one up, because what it does is it takes away the smoothness there, I'm going to scale that one down and just eyeball it. Again, I've lost the symmetry already, and so now, because of that, scale. Because of that, I'm just going to eyeball it and hope that it doesn't render with, you know, too crazy right there. That, you know, a view like this, somebody might not be able to tell that it's not round. What else? Anyways, well, that's what I was getting at. So I started subscribing, you know, listing all my subscriptions, and I forgot what I did, but basically I wanted to push out all the other channels that are just super dumb and frivolous, and so they don't list on my page, on my YouTube channel. It's tucked in there a little too much, so I'm just bringing them back down and eyeballing it. This is a little too smooth. There's something else that happens here, kind of like, it's like a Y, if you look at that, inverted Y, or like an R, with a very definite, you know, nice sharp edge there. I'm not going to pursue that, same as I'm not doing that. It could be done, I think, though. Maybe taking the top edges, you know, more, in other words, adding more geometry, just taking the top edges and then beveling them and all these things. I think with more work, but I'm already at 40 minutes, and I think I'd already previously recorded an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up here soon. Okay, so it gives me more or less a shape of what I want. I need to add something there where I'm going to turn, this is for the materials, where this is black, and so in terms of materials I might just change the material instead of, or adding a little bevel here that indicates is a material. There's a black material coating this material. There's that bracket that needs to be done. Not even going to get into that. Let me see. I'm going to add another one there just for the sake. Okay. So then, so that's where the bolt goes in there. This one can probably, rotate it a little bit more. I'm going to rotate this one a little bit more and then scale Shift X a little bit out. Let me see how that looks in the subdivided view. There's some funky stuff happening here. That's why this is 2. Probably take that one, rotate it back, and take that little one and rotate it out. Trying to smooth some of that out right there. Okay. I'm going to leave that as it is. Maybe take these a little bit. There's a little dimple. Scale Shift X. Bring them out a little bit. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about that. It's probably the same kind of scenario as that. But what I do need is that. And I'm going to dedicate the rest of the time just to see if I can get that. Other than that, it's already looking like a piece that could be, basically it looks to me like it's a piece that's cast, right? Like a piece of steel that gets cast that shape, and then inside is the working mechanisms for the brake. So this is not that smooth. It follows somewhat, not so much. This curve is a lot bigger radius. Not a lot, but more. This is a tighter radius. That can be fixed, but I'm not going to. I'm going to dedicate the time for this right here. And that one, let me NT. That one would be, oh, come on. What if I take that one and I do this? That's the sound for exploding. Explode that vertices. Boom. Let's see how that's looking in this context, I guess you would call it. This is ugly, right? Who would think that that gives you something smooth? It's not even that smooth, but yeah. That's ugly. My cursor is still up here in the center, right? In the fake center. Okay, that is not good. So good thing I went back to this view. Let me fix some of this. I was going to ignore it, remember? Not really. Okay, that looks smoother already right there. I can still see the line right there. Like I said, I can't spend a whole bunch of time there. It merged because of anyways, there's an option here for the auto merge. I probably should change that 0.0005, half of that. That's when things get moved around and they want to merge. And then there's the other merging threshold. There's another little setting. I wonder how all that's going to work in the 2.8 because from what I've seen, they've changed that toolbar to being just like buttons. They're basically making 2.8. And I know I'm rambling. I'm going back and forth. Just stream consciousness, right? They have changed basically they want to make it look like buttons. And if you ask me, this is me, but I'm nobody, right? I just started using Blender, seriously using Blender with 2.76. This is 2.79, so there you go. But let me go scale Shift X just to bring it out here. Now with the center scale. But anyways, from listening to Pablo's podcast, or it's not a podcast, but his is like a talk show. He does a talk show. Very good at it, by the way. Explains things very well. And is they want to make Blender discoverable to new users. And I just hope that they don't make it more difficult for the people that are already using it to some. So for me, I would, but then that's me, of course. Blender wants to get recognition. I'm talking about the people at Blender. Which one was it? Circle. I'm looking for it. Circle. There. More like square, right? The people at Blender, they want to get more recognition, I guess. The people, make it more friendly for people to download and take it and start running with Blender, which I get that. But, you know, cluttering. For me, I don't mind going up and down and the way this is set up. I don't mind this. I don't mind. By the way, I don't use the mouse wheel. Some people probably get tired of it because they use the mouse wheel or whatever. I use the pen. It goes pretty fast, you know. But they're changing that. They still have this, but this one has changed for the 2.8. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that, you know, little discovery things like this has changed too, has become a floating window, but a bunch of stuff that has changed. And for me, there's like some discovery that happens when you go into tools and start looking at all these things. And I hope that's still able to happen. So I know they want to make it discoverable, but for me, it's like I'd rather have all the options and then I'll discover them at my leisure in a sense. But then the options are there versus you have changed, you know, you have changed it to make it more easy and discoverable, but then you lose the options. But then that's why using it is important, I suppose. Using the versions that are available for download now are important. Is important, at least for people like me, if I want to continue this. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe start posting, I don't know if that's even a possibility, start posting videos where I'm trying to do something like this with it, with 2.8. Okay, so how am I going to make that? I've already made a mess of these because these have become, let me see how that looks. These have become n-gons. And even with that n-gon, it doesn't look bad. So, but what I know that I realize that I do need is, see, it won't give me the loop because all these are n-gons. Boop, a loop there, a loop there. So I probably should have just cut the loop first to begin with. A loop there. Now I'm going to knife this. I'm going to go back to this so I can knife it right. So take the knife and go there and there. No. There, there, there. Enter. See how that. So now what I need to do is take this 3. See if I'm even thinking on the right path. I'm on the right path. Sorry, is turn that somehow circularly into that, coming out of the steel. Control save. Okay, so I'm getting close to my time here. First, what I'm going to do is pick a center. So I'm going to say the center's there. No, not really. I'm going to take these two. Yeah, they're not even in any kind of axial, you know, orientation or anything. So I'm going to have to eyeball it some more. Get it more or less oriented and pointed toward the center. I'm going to just make a face there. W subdivide. I'm going to choose that one as my center. That little. That's it, arbitrarily. And now I'm going to select that one and X out the edges. Now what's going to happen? I think what would happen? I think it'll mess this edge up if I go to the circle. 3. Well, let me just do it. There. So W. No, Control Z. That doesn't work. It's the sphere. So I think I forgot what it was. I think it's with the S, and it's not Shift Alt S to the 1. Now that makes it a sphere right out of that cursor. So I need to make sure these are back to that plane, because that's where they were first. Okay, so it brought them back around. So it brought them back in. I'm just going to scale them off of here. From the cursor, scale them back. So basically I was trying to get these three to be more spherical. I didn't have to select those. I think I messed it up royally. Okay. Everything. What about this isn't messed up royally, right? Look, it already lost its curve nature because of what I did here. That can be fixed up. Okay, so and here they see it vanishes into here, so I'm just gonna select here, Control B. Just start with something. Start with something a little bit, right? Take that. What's going on? Oh, because that's the last selected over there. Control. Take that and 3, scale it in. I didn't want to bevel too much because I'm already getting into that vertex over there. Actually, yeah, no, I need to scale it in. Wrong one, Control Z. Okay, take these faces and extrude them up. What is happening? It's not looking very good. Probably because of the scale. Control Z to I'm gonna go back there. Get rid of the snap. Okay. I'm gonna have to take these. They're gonna get really deep underneath the mesh here, but I'm gonna take these. And scale them in. Scale Shift X. Which is gonna mess up my... It's gonna mess up the round, what I already spent time just trying to make it round. So right now I'm just eyeballing these things. Rotate a little bit more, scale Shift X. No, off of the cursor. So it's become a very, very big mess. If I were to go into the unsubdivided view, it would be a mess. And you have that intersecting geometry there. Clipping, I guess you would call it. Not the same. Not cool. I'm gonna rotate that one. More like that. And then rotate this one over. No, Control Z. More like that. There you go. Okay. There's probably a loop that should have been cut right here. I just didn't do it. Okay. Yeah, also needs another loop right here as well. I'm just going to rotate those. Okay, back to this. This is not looking very good because let me crease that. Where is the crease? Let me this is already beveled. Control 0. Where was the center? I forgot now. The center of this. It was somewhere in, oh, whatever. Okay, let me just take those. I've been eyeballing everything. Eyeballing things is fine. There's some people that sculpt everything, so it's fine. Okay, now it's looking, so it's kind of like truncated or starts sloping off there. It just has to look round. I wonder if this works if I hit the eye. It does. And then extrude and bring it back down. It does. And now what I need to do is get rid of these. That one too. Okay, take these and bring them back down. So I just gotta make it round. Make it so it actually looks round. I forgot where my center was, so whatever. Control 0. Let's see how that looks. So in terms of things, of no-nos, there's a couple things. I'm going to do a loop here. I'm going to join that one there. Now I can do a loop. No, how come it still doesn't let me do a loop? Because it's in gone. There. Arbitrary. Very arbitrary. How was it that way? Now a knife. Okay. What do we got here? So that one doesn't need to be there, so I'm going to take that one, just grab it and bring it over here. All right, since it all became arbitrary, I'm going to choose that to be the center. Arbitrary, Control Save. I need another loop right here, right about there. Right about there. So what that's going to do is I'm going to have to work more at making this round, or nice back round again in this view, which is fine. I mean, not fine, but why did I only select those? Okay, I need to, yeah, that's right. Control E, bridge edge loops. Those. Okay, so now I need to cut that one there. Take that to that. Make a face. Okay, let's see how this is going to look ultimately. Doesn't seem to, it doesn't, it needs to have more of a slope. So okay, what I'm going to do is just start scaling off of those. Again, a lot of this is being eyeballed. Just nah. So if I choose that vertex, oh, choose that one for the center. Start rotating some of these. Who knows? There's not enough for me to actually guess as to what's happening there. I just gotta make them round. Oh. What am I doing? How come it's not rotating? I am rotating about the cursor, manipulating about the cursor. Oh, let me see, Control 0. There, it's rotating now. It just doesn't have an effect, is what it is. So I'm gonna have to make these round somehow. I don't know how. I have the right ortho, and I think I need to select these and then just scale in. Okay, get rid of the snap, scale in. That's looking more round. Okay, that might be it. Not the best, but that gets close. Okay, and then for a render from afar, I can add a bolt later. Now I have to make these round right here. So anyways, I just remember now talking about round. I don't know how that brings to mind. Anyways, I'm all over the place, obviously, with what I say. I'm talking about today, but yeah, I was mentioning the channels that I'm subscribed to, and one of them being the Blender Guru channel. And I think everybody in the Blender verse is already, has knowledge of his channel and all that. Probably looked at his tutorials and everything. And I'm talking about Blender Gurus. And anyways, has seen the interview with Ton, the creator of Blender. And so he talks about how it came about, talking about Blender. And, he talks about how Blender came about. And, it's nice to watch, to hear, to see all, to hear and see him talk about how, it all came about and explain it all. So anyways, it's a video worth watching. That's all I was getting at. And if you listen to the interview where Ton talks about Blender, what he, how it came about, what he, the things, at least that he wants for it, I suppose, makes sense with the idea that 2.8 then is they want it to be more discoverable, according to what Pablo Vasquez has been talking about, in terms of the 2.8 and the changes and all that. And I guess when he says discoverable, and what I think he means by discoverable is that the buttons and everything, people don't have to be moving so far or down. Is what does this do? What does that do? Having a button to push and then it does it, and you don't really have to give it much thought as to what process might be happening and all that. It's fine. It's their program. We're just along for the ride. And like I say to people, scale shift X is the value. The value of this program is just, I don't know how you could not appreciate that. How anybody could not appreciate that. I'm just trying to make it round again. Not doing a very good job of it. This is almost like a tedious job of working with the Bezier curves. There. Not so much. It looks ugly right here. And the Bezier curves that have the handles that'll fix certain things, but right now it's like it'll be as if you're trying to use all the vertices that a handle would fix, but I'm doing it by hand. Not cool. I think everybody does. I'm just thinking about what I was saying earlier about the program. Everybody does, explorations with a program. you know, they'll take a computer program and they just start exploring and see what they can do with it. Control 0, tab. Yeah, these are not doing too good here. Okay, that smooths it out a little bit more. Anyways, that's the picture, I guess. That's the big picture. Everything else now is just messing with it. Not very good right here, but that's because this messed it up anyways. Not very good. But it's gonna have to do because that's what I'm gonna call it at that point right there. I need to take a nut that sticks all the way out here. So I'm probably gonna take these faces and just shove them back more, like that. And then a nut that sticks out. A nut, a bolt or whatever, you know, it sticks out and comes out here. I'm not going to do this right now. It's just for this little shell thing. Now, what I need to do is select this. There's also all these creased edges that I need to get rid of, or maybe I just leave them. That's fine. As long as it renders fine, because I want to get to a render with bicycle at least. I'll probably record for that, for the bicycle. But anyways, I'm gonna do right along with these as well. With all these, going to the medium point, I'm gonna do scale X0. Now, getting rid of those. Going to extrude and scale them in. And then extrude. See how that's looking? Somewhat. Yes. There you go. Extrude. And move them in a little bit. Extrude. Scale them in. Oop. Back to the medium point, scale them in. Now, bringing them back out. Going back to the medium point, I'm going to go Control plus. Just a little bit more out, and hopefully that is not too far off the symmetry, let's say. No, it's not. Because Control minus, it's very dirty, I know. And extrude, scale it in. Control plus plus. Yeah, there's a little something there that's a little off. So I'm moving it, grabbing it. Control 3. Wrong one, Control Z. So there, and the move. So now using that one, extruding it again. Oh, wrong way. This way out. Here's what I gotta do. I have to select that one with the cursor there. I'm going to turn them into a sphere about that cursor. Why isn't it working? Oh. Because I'm not using the cursor. There. All the way to 1. Okay. Now I'm going to extrude again, and then just off the center. Oh, what happened now? Control 0. It should be more, oh, because they're not a circle. I can fix that. By going off the cursor, scale, Shift, X. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the loop tools. Control Z. Yeah, it puts the center of it goes to the circle, but it puts the center. It decides, it makes the center the centroid, center of mass. Is that okay? Is that okay? Now I'm going to extrude again at center. There. Control plus. Make sure that's the active one. And I'm gonna go grab Shift X and snap to that one. Let me see if any of these are crossing here. They're not. I need to do the same thing for these down here. So I probably should have done it to these because they're not going to be seen right here. So basically I just wanted to put a wheel. Not a wheel, but what you see here in the back. And that's not looking very good. So what I'm going to do is select that, Control Z, Control Z, X, V, there. I'm going to make it a separate object. It won't be seen anyways. And from the median, just scale out. And then just extrude it. And Control Link, Shift H, so we can see it. Okay. Bevel it a little bit. There. That's just so you don't get the little flower effect out here. Scale X, making them tighter. Alt H. Yeah, that's one of the things that I was hearing in the Blender 2.8 discussions from Pablo's channel, which is going to be Blender Oi, is what I heard last one. So he's changing it, but anyways, is that the so he was saying everybody wrongly uses the hide function for this, and when you do the Alt H, everything like we just see right there comes visible. So Shift H, I'm back to just what I was looking at, but so that's what he's saying, Alt H, and what really should be used is the make local. But anyways, that's funny, you know, watching all of that and then just recognizing, yeah, you're right. Doing it wrong. I'm gonna, whatever kind of clipping happens in there is not a big deal. It does need to fit though. That's just the other part of it, needs to fit. So with this little wheel thing here selected, scale X, needs to be very narrow. 7, and then just bring it back. It cannot touch the spokes. I'm gonna bring it out here for now. I need to select that one, Control plus, bring it back, Control plus, 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 plus. That should be everything up to here. Not everything, but that's fine. I'm gonna bring that, oh no, that's not fine. Why not get rid of those vertices and then bring it oh no, control minus. Now I need to reselect these vertices, 7, and bring those in. Control minus. I need to select all these faces. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see now with all this, but anyways, that's what he was saying. In other words, you hit that one, you have the local, the slash on the number pad, which is right. You know, that's what should be happening. It's easier, but okay. there. It looks proportionally just big. I'm not going to worry about these little openings here. But that's the braking system. There's a bracket that goes there, but I'm not going to do that either. Needs a couple bolts, one here, one here. And so that's the braking system for that bicycle. I'm going to call that good then. Well, not that good. I know it's like too little too late. It's been a long time since I posted. But I'm going to zoom in here and just try to see if I can use one of these screens. I'm not going to get a lot of views anyways. I mean, I know there was a handful of people. Somebody even asked for the background images for the bicycle, and I'm sorry I failed on that respect. But I'm going to probably just post this as the final image for the screen, the little screen thing. But anyways, modeling this. What am I seeing here? What did I do? Oh, there's a little problem there, artifact. So let me select it. Let me do the local view, just so I know. Tab. So what it is this went way too far, so I'm going to hide that, and these, so I'm going to choose, it's these faces right here, all the way around, really. Probably the easiest way to do it is to select that edge there, go plus 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 right there. Just look at that one. Right now the faces, select that one all the way around. Now maybe better go into the Z. I should recalculate the normals too on this. There, those little faces, I just went in like that because I'm imagining it does something like that. I really don't know what it does. I'm talking about the mechanism. Probably does something like that. Okay, get back out of the local. So there's the thing. Back to that view in that comparable view right there. And so I'm going to call it good for now, a good 2.5 hours now for this video. But yeah, next videos maybe I'll just do one for the render. I'm not even, there's the handbrakes that I need to do, but I'm not going to record that anymore. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe I'll time lapse it or something. But the handbrakes in the cable that comes back here, and or the hand levers for the brakes rather, and I'll take it from there. So. And then maybe I'll start posting some with the 2.8. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.